Shalom. I want to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kudash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles, the great millstone, for teaching me the truth. Also, I want to acknowledge all the Akyam who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Alright, so I may have done this lesson a while recently, but I'm just gonna read it again because I was reading it today, and I don't know. It's a good chapter. It's a little bit long, so I don't know if I'll get through the whole thing, but I'm gonna start at verse 1 in 1 Maccabees chapter 2. In those days arose Mattathias, the son of John, the son of Simeon, a priest of the sons of Jorib from Jerusalem, and dwelt in Modin. And Modin is northeast of Jerusalem. Okay? And he had 5 sons: Joanne, called Cadiz; Simon, called Thasi; Judas, who was called Maccabeus; Eleazar, called Avaran; and Jonathan, whose surname was Apphus. And when he saw the blasphemies that were committed in Judah and Jerusalem, he said, "Woe is me! Wherefore was I born to see this misery of my people and of the holy city, to dwell there, when it was delivered into the hand of the enemy, and the sanctuary into the hand of the strangers." Alright, so I'm going to call this lesson the Maccabean spirit, okay? And a Maccabean spirit, if you understand, is a rebellious spirit, and is a pissed off spirit. Because if you're in a Maccabean spirit, which the men of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, that's the type of spirit we should be in. And a Maccabean spirit is like, you should be pissed off about all the things that we see around us. All right, just like right here, Judas Maccabeus, he was like, "Woe is me! Wherefore was I born to see this misery of my people?" He didn't like what he saw when he looked at the Israelites. He didn't like what he saw. It pissed him off. Because he saw all our people selling out to the heathen. He saw our people doing nothing but wickedness. He saw our people making a covenant with the heathen. Right? Let's get that real quick. So, 1 Maccabees 1:11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, "Let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us, for since we departed from them we have had much sorrow." So this device pleased them well. You see that? So our people are still in this 2/3 spirit. But we want to be in that Maccabean spirit where when we look at our people and we get mad, seeing the misery of our people. Because if you look around, our people are mingled with the heathen. They made a covenant with the heathen, and they become the heathen. You see? But, the righteous mindset is to look and say, "Hey, this is pissing me off. My people are miserable." And we can see our people are miserable. Let's get verse 8. It says, "Her temple is become as a man without glory." That's the state of our people right now. "Her glorious vessels are carried away into captivity. Her infants are slain in the streets. Her young men with the sword of the enemy." And that's still happening here in Babylon, America. Verse 10. "What nation hath not had part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils?" Right? Because all the heathen have had their turn to rule over us, and have basically, used the Israelites as a doormat, and in the process, spoiling us. Meaning taking away all of our good things that we had, including our integrity, because our people, they don't have integrity. They don't keep the laws. They don't keep the statutes. Our people are in a fucked up state of mind. Verse 11, all her ornaments are taken away of a free woman. She has become a bond slave. Oh, yeah, they become, Israel, Zion, right? And let's see, Jeremiah 6:2. I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman. That's why it speaks about the nation of Israel right here. All her ornaments are taken away of a free woman. She has become a bond slave. Instead of a comely and delicate woman, a free woman, our people are looked at as in slavery, right? And behold, our sanctuary, even our beauty and our glory is laid waste, and the Gentiles have profaned it. All right? So yeah, the Gentiles have profaned our lifestyle, our church, our temple, our power. They've profaned all of it, right? And you have certain Israelites that this doesn't bother them. The 2/3, they love mingling with the heathen. They love being a heathen. They don't want to let go of the customs of the ways of the heathen. Verse 14. Then Mattathias and his sons rent their clothes and put on sackcloth and mourn very sore. Alright, so sackcloth is something that is a custom for the Israelites, that we would wear clothing, and it's a humble garment. And renting means tearing your clothes, all right, and putting on sackcloth, because you're in a state of mourning when you're wearing sackcloth. Just like the prophets, right? It says that we wear sackcloth in the street. The two witnesses. We're wearing sackcloth, right? Let's get that real quick. And we're mourning in the street, sighing and crying. Just like it tells you in Ezekiel 9:4. But let's get Revelation 11. It says, verse 3, and I will give power unto my two witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth. All right, and the two witnesses are the northern and southern kingdom prophets, right? You got the southern kingdom, which is the so-called black tribes, and the northern kingdom, which is so-called Hispanic, Native American, Latino tribes. Those are the two witnesses who are prophesying clothed in sackcloth. And sackcloth, remember, it's a humble garment that we would wear, or we still wear, in a state of mourning. Okay? First Maccabees 2 and 14. Then Mattathias and his sons rent their clothes and put on sackcloth and mourned very sore, just like the two witnesses in Revelation, which is us. John the Revelator saw us. He had the vision of us prophets wearing our garments, wearing our sackcloth, and in a state of mourning and sighing and crying. And I'm going to just grab that because it keeps I keep saying it. Ezekiel 9:4. And Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry, for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. You see that? When you're sighing and crying, it means you're mourning. So the prophets were in a state of mourning. And why is it? We're just like we're in that Maccabean spirit. We hate to see the misery of our people. We hate to see our people at the bottom. We hate to see our people have become spoils for these heathen nations. You see? 15. First Maccabees 2:15. In the meanwhile, the king's officers, such as compelled the people to revolt, came into the city Modin to make them sacrifice. And when many of Israel came unto them, Mattathias also and his sons came together. Then answered the king's officers and said to Mattathias on this wise, Thou art a ruler and an honorable and a great man in this city, and strengthened with sons and brethren. So these are the rulers of the heathen telling Mattathias basically, hey, come be down with us. Leave your laws and come and join our laws, right? Let's get that in the first chapter. It says, First Maccabees 1:41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, right? The New World Order. Same thing Esau wants to do now. 42. And everyone should leave his laws, so all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. See, they want us to leave our laws, the laws of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, and conform to the strange laws of the heathen, right? And there's a reason for that, because when we leave our laws, then we don't have no power. And the heathen know this. This is a thing of, it's a mind game. It's a psyop, right? They know that if we aren't keeping our laws, statutes, and commandments, that we lose our power. Because Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, He's with us when we keep the laws, and we have reverence, and we're zealous for the law, meaning passionate. All right? Let me read this real quick. It says, Now therefore come thou first, and fulfill the king's commandment, like as all heathen have done. Yeah, and the men of Judah also, and such as remain at Jerusalem, so shalt thou and thy house be in the number of the king's friends, and thou and thy children shall be honored with silver and gold and many rewards. See, so this is a bribe. They're saying, hey, come be down with us. Come be down with the Greeks at that time, the Antiochus. These are his men telling the Maccabees, hey, come and be down with us. You're going to get silver, gold. You're going to get rewarded. Right? And let's see what Mattathias said. Verse 9. Then Mattathias answered and spake with a loud voice, Though all the nations that are under the king's dominion obey him and fall away every one of the religion of their fathers and give consent to his commandments, right? He's saying all these people, they become like the heathen. They're down with the religion of the heathen. They give consent to the commandments of kings. Let's see what he says, verse 20. Yet will I and my sons and my brethren walk in the covenant of our fathers. The Most High forbid that we should forsake the law and the ordinances. So he said, God forbid that we forget about the laws of our power. Right? Verse 2. We will not hearken. And remember, this is the Maccabean spirit. This is the spirit that we're supposed to be in. We're not supposed to just lay down for the heathen and say, okay, we're going to go ahead and just follow your strange laws. All right? Forget about the laws of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. And that's what it is. When you take the jump shot, when you take that RFID micro C-hip, you're just laying down to the heathen. You're basically, if you're a woman, it's like opening that box for the heathen. You see? And that's not the spirit Israelites are supposed to be in. We're supposed to stand stiffly for the names of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, and including the laws, statutes, and commandments. Right? And of course, we can't keep the laws perfectly, but we should not just dismiss them. We should try to keep them to the best of our ability, have reverence for the laws, because the laws bring life and order for our people. It says, verse 22, we will not hearken to the king's words, meaning we're not going to listen to the king, to go from our religion either on the right hand or the left. Now when he had left speaking these words, there came one of the Jews in the sight of all to sacrifice on the altar which was at Modin according to the king's commandment. See, so this Israelite was sacrificing according to the king commandment, not according to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Alright? Verse 24. Which thing when Matthias saw, he was inflamed with zeal, so he got pissed. And his reins trembled, neither could he forbear to show his anger according to judgment. Wherefore he ran and slew him upon the altar. So he ran up and slew that Israelite who was committing that sin by sacrificing according to the king commandment. Right? Verse 25. Also the king's commissioner who had compelled men to sacrifice, he killed at that time in the altar he pulled down. So Maccabees was on one, right? He was fucking shit up in righteousness. Verse 26, thus dealt he zealously for the law of the Most High, like as Phinehas did unto Zambri, the son of Salom. And Mattathias cried throughout the city with a loud voice, saying, whosoever is zealous of the law and maintaineth the covenant, let him follow me. So he's like, hey, if you're down with Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, come and follow me. Right? And that's the mindset we're supposed to be in, all right? And I'm going to stop right there. But this is that Maccabean spirit. The Maccabean spirit, and remember, the Lord, his prophets are subject unto the prophets. So in the reincarnation, you're going to have men who have this same spirit, who don't want to, once we come into the truth and we come into remembrance of who we are, we're not going to hearken to the commandment of these wicked kings, these heathen kings. We're going to keep the integrity of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, just like we're reading about that Mattathias and his sons, right? Mattathias and his sons, they were the Maccabees. They were the ones who was ready to rebel against the heathen, even though they were a small number. The majority of our people were consenting to the heathen, making covenants with the heathen. But you had that small group. In this case, it was the Maccabees who were like, hell no, we ain't gonna do anything the king wants us to do, right? Because when you get with these heathen, they're gonna basically just spoil us to the point where you're gonna forget about the laws of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. You're gonna eat abominations. You're gonna do all these wicked things. And basically, you're just becoming a rebel against Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. So the right mindset is to be that Maccabean spirit and to rebel against the commandments of kings, not the commandments of Yahweh. All right? So with that, I want to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai B'Shem Rakah Kodash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also,